speed. Sarah, you come from a rather large family with 7 children.
8 kids.
8 kids. So achieving the level of fame that you have now, do you get a lot of kidding from your siblings?
No, I think everybody in my family is successful in the thing that they do, and success is different for everybody. I think that fame doesn't necessarily isn't necessarily equal to success for one person as it is for the other. And I have a sister that is very successful in her job, and a brother that's a writer that I think is very successful. And so we're far more supportive than competitive with one another.
Now, you've done a real cross-section of work in theater, television, and the movies. Now, let's go back a few years to Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Oh, wow.
Now, I mean, you were quite young,
Yes.
starring in a motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that was one of the more frightening experiences that you went through doing that?
Nah, I'd say that was one of the easier experiences, actually. There wasn't a huge amount of pressure. It was a smaller film. I knew that it wasn't going to be seen by lots and lots of people, and the part was sort of very right for my age at the time and my emotional maturity, and so it was actually one of the easier experiences. I don't know.
Now, despite all the work that you've done, it seems you've got really a lot of notice for L.A. Story.
Yes.
Now, when you did that film, and you were great in it,
Thank you.
did you expect that it would have that much impact when you were doing the movie?
I had no idea, absolutely not. I in no way had any idea the impact that it would have, being a participant in the film or my role in the film. And I think as a result was even more pleased at the reception because I wasn't expecting it. And so it was a really, obviously, very satisfying experience.
Now, with the Honeymoon in Vegas, now, like walking around the last couple of days, Las Vegas is a very surreal place.
Yes.
Now, were there any surreal experiences that stand out in your mind when you were shooting this movie?
No, flying Elvis's, dropping from a plane can be described as a rather surreal experience. So I guess it sort of would have to be it. I mean, although the surroundings are peculiar at best, when you're sort of immersed in a work environment, you forget where you are, even in Las Vegas, which would seem hard to forget. But the casino became very much our home. I mean, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd walk down through the lobby, and that was my living room and my dining room and my kitchen. And the fact that there were thousands of people at a slot machine at 5:45 in the morning became very normal to me, and so it no longer seemed surreal or even unusual.
Now, working with the Elvises or Elvi, depending on what you want to say.
Wow.
Now, how were they? Were their personalities a little bit different than you expected? Were they aloof or were they pretty open?
I didn't really spend much time with them. The scenes that I was in, that they were in as well, they were pretty much background. I think Nicolas Cage would probably be more prepared to answer that because he spent actual quality time with them. I was just walking near them.
Now, this movie is about men pursuing a woman. Now, in your personal life, and no names are required, what has been the most outrageous thing a man has done in pursuit of you?
Oh, geez. Nothing really.
There must be something.
The most outrageous thing, I don't know, I guess made a public proclamation of some sort, perhaps.
Oh, what did that entail?
Just, publicly articulating their affection for me, which can be considered outrageous if you're in the wrong company or something. It might not be appropriate at all times.
Now working with James Caan, he's an actor with a reputation, so many different movies, kind of larger than life figure.
Yes.
Was that when you first met him? Was that a little bit intimidating at all?
For some reason, I was intimidated because I really liked his work and I thought he was a terrific actor, but he doesn't have an intimidating personality. I think that if somebody, if there's a lot of bravado and all that garbage, then I would have been intimidated, but he was very friendly and funny and warm and generous, and so I immediately felt far more comfortable than than I thought I would be.
Okay. And one last question.
Sure.
Doing a feature on the worst advice actors have gotten in their career. Not advice that you normally follow, but what would you say is the worst advice anyone's ever given you about your career?
That I should give it up. That I should not pursue a career in the entertainment industry, no matter what that career might be.
I'm glad you...
I used to tell them to eat their words.
Well, I'm glad you decided not to follow that.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, great.
Nice to meet you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay.